This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram @LoneWolfPB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode of PTG is brought to you by HK Army. HK is an industry leader in high-quality paintball gear, accessories, and lifestyle apparel that was founded in 2007. And we have a tremendous opportunity for you all to be geared up on every level with HK Army custom team gear. Whether you're on the paintball field or in the airsoft arena, take your game to the next level by using code PTG to get 50% off your custom gear design fee. And I don't think y'all heard me out there. That is 50% off, and you will be able to collaborate with a seasoned designer to create custom branded HK Army jerseys, long sleeves, t-shirts, pants, gloves, or headbands for your team with no minimum order quantity. Head on over to hkarmy.com/custom and use code PTG for 50% off on your team's custom gear design fee right now. Let's go. Thank you, HK Army, for everything you do in paintball, in airsoft, and in so many people's lives. We love you. Go check them out. Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by the one and only Trans Labs that brought the world two amazing products. First off, Transfuse, which is a hydration multiplier, and most recently, they just dropped Transcend, which is a nootropic energy formula. No matter what you use, when you choose Trans Labs, you are going to be boosted and you are going to be ready to charge the paintball field and win out there. With Transfuse, that is a premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in this product. We've got zinc, we've got vitamin B6, we've got vitamin C, sodium, potassium, choline, and it is an amazing way to make sure that you're hydrated and prepared to play top-level paintball. When it comes to Transcend, that is a premium nootropic energy formula designed to increase cognitive performance, elevate mood and clarity while supporting long-term brain health, and it's going to leave you feeling great with no crash or jitters. It's one of the only products in the nootropic space backed by research studies to ensure the formula is correct for optimal performance. It is more potent than anything on the market, and it will keep you charged and ready to win out there. I take 1 scoop, but if you're stimulant sensitive, take a half scoop, and if you want that LFG dose to launch to the moon, dump 2 scoops in your drink and you are going to be flying down that paintball field. Comes in 2 delicious flavors, Baja Blast and Skittles Candy for the Transcend. And for the Transfuse, they have 2 new flavors as well, Pineapple Express and Hawaiian Punched. So if you get a chance, head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME and you'll get 10% off. If you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you also get 10% off as well. So you can take advantage of 20% off on these products. Head over to translabs.com and give it a go.
What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tonight we have a very special episode. We have Andrew O'Brien, a longtime professional hockey player, and Shawn Moe, player and owner of Vegas Golden Misfits, the recent winners of the WCPPL Premier Division. So this one is full of action, lots of great information, and without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcello Margott. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcello Margott was on fire.
What's going on, everybody? We have an epic show lined up for you guys. We have a pro hockey player, Andrew O'Brien, that's going to be joining us in a little bit. But first and foremost, we have the man, the myth, the owner, good friend of mine, player for Vegas Golden Misfits, Shawn Moe on the line. We just got back from the WCPPL, got the first place, got the gold. Had to have you on, talk about it. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. It still seems a little bit surreal. Woke up Sunday morning at like 5:30 and I was just on a natural high.
Yeah.
Super happy from the event and super happy with the team, everybody's performance. And just obviously it's after you win an event, it's pretty much on cloud nine.
Yeah, man. Congratulations to you
Thanks.
and the squad out there.
Thanks.
You guys took it home.
Yeah,
and
I appreciate that.
You've been in the trenches. We were talking a little bit before the show, but you've been in the game for quite some time. And, you know, in the early 2000s, made a huge push with LTZ and did tremendous things for the culture of paintball at that time. And now you're back doing it again with the Vegas Golden Misfits. So huge shout out to you and the whole entire squad for everything that you guys are doing.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. We're excited to talk about the performance out there and how it went. WCPPL is crushing it with their events. Obviously, huge turnout, great competition, great atmosphere for growth and development as a player. So 100%. Talk to us about your experience this last weekend out there from, you know, the beginning of the tournament and then rolling into the final day there.
Yeah, man. You know, Marcello and I, obviously, you know, at the end of last year after winning D3 WC and then winning D2 at World Cup, Marcello and I, you know, we talk. I wear his phone out, man. I use if minutes had to be bought like back in the day, I'd be paying for his phone for sure. But you know, we set goals. You know, hey, first event is you know, we want to be in the top 4 at Premier, you know, which it's not an easy division at WC in Premier Division, but it's really a kind of a combination of semi-pro and pro, right? I mean, you have some of the better pros guesting and playing with teams, you know, Corey Halls and, you know, the list goes on and on. And, you know, so realistically, we wanted a top 4 in the first event. We fell slightly short of that and got a 5th after going 4-0 in the prelims. I think almost mercy ruling every team that we played almost. We fell short in an overtime match against a team called Regime. So we were almost where we set our goals, but fell a little bit short. And then Marcello was like, okay, well, we need to step up our practice. So I was like, okay, well, let's do it. You know, we play almost every Sunday together. Most of us that are here in Vegas. We have two guys, Cameron Bushby that lives in Denver, and Ben Slofer, which, you know, obviously you both know.
Shout out to Cam, the MVP, by the way. Shout out to young Cam.
Yep. And Ben that lives out in Indiana. So, you know, but the other 7 players all live in Vegas. And so we play almost every Sunday together. Well, Marcelo was like, we need to do 2 back-to-back 2-day practices before this next event. I really want the guys to be in tune and work on a lot of things. I'm like, okay, perfect. Everyone's bought in. Ben and Cameron flew in for the first week in practice, and they stayed actually at my house. You know, God bless my wife. She let him stay at the house for 2 weeks straight. And that, you know, they played paintball Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we drilled. But anyways, so we practiced the first weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Marcel, it's just us, 9 guys. And we went through like 60 cases of paint and did, I mean, Marcello put us into the dirt. I mean, I think we probably did 30 to 40 points, Marcello, in 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
what was it?
I think it was 36. It was a lot of points.
Yeah.
And you know, every player on the team is getting those points because it's against each other, right? Like Tyler, you know how it is when we go to our practices. I know for Dynasty, we'll do 30, like if we do 40 points in a day, that's an insanely long day, and we also have multiple lines. So realistically, each player, at least our practices, you know, over like a 7-hour period, you know, we're getting maybe 20 points each at the most. So I was like, you guys played a lot of paintball in about a 3.5 hour window. Cause in Vegas out there, it's from like, you know, 6:37 in the morning till 10:30, 11. Played a lot of paintball for sure.
So that was Saturday. And I mean, he put us into the dirt, Tyler. I mean, I'm calling my wife after. Yeah, I'm calling my wife afterwards saying, you need to get our nurse over to the house and bring IVs for myself and the boys. My legs are cramping. Adam's almost dying. Farmer's hurting. I mean, all of us old geezers are like hurting. So he put us through the paces Saturday. Then the next day, Sunday, we scrimmage against 2 other premier teams. One was Vegas Brawlers. They're our sparring partner. They're here from Vegas. They have a beautiful facility, combat zone here south of the Strip in Vegas. And another team called Raw Material. Sunday, Marcello ran also a very productive, great practice. So that was the first weekend. Then that following weekend, we did the same exact thing Saturday and Sunday, and to prepare for the tournament as best as we could. And I think after those 2 weekends of back-to-back practice with the entire team, I feel Marcello can speak, but we were ready. I felt that we were very comfortable. Communication was flawless. Our play was flawless. Everything went off without a hitch as far as practice goes. Then we go into the event, which was this.
I'm sorry to stop you before you head into the event, but there's so many people out there that are listening to this, and they're trying to accomplish what you guys did. And I just want it to be known that it's not without a lack of tremendous effort. Tremendous,
Yeah. I mean, I go back to listening to Riley's podcast from 2 weeks ago, Riley Sullivan, obviously. And, the things that he said about, driving 8 hours, practicing from sun up till sundown, practicing in the heat, doing all of those things, shooting, until you didn't have any paint left, all of those things. It's like, I laugh and I totally agree with him. Right. Because, at the event last weekend, guys would come up to us from other teams and go like, hey, what's your guys' practice regiment when Marcello's there? And I'm like, well, we wake up at 5 a.m. We get to the field at 5:30. We're geared up. We have about 150 pods completely full. They're in the cooler, and we shoot all the pods, and then we get off the field. We don't take breaks in between besides getting air, which we have an air tap on the field. And then we clean the pods, refill them, go back out on the field. And it's just, it's a grind. And I mean, like Marcello he's a drill sergeant. I mean, it's not like you're going out there and just having a fun practice, like playing points and goofing around. You're on the box, you're doing, whether it's 2-on-3s, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s, whatever the situation that he has us running, it's structured. And I feel that's truly the way you learn, because Marcello puts you in situations, whether it's a 3-on-3 or 3-on-2, and he says, okay, you're down a point, you're up a point, there's 60 seconds left, there's 30 seconds left, there's 2 minutes left on the clock. You're playing a certain situation. You're not you're practicing with a purpose. You're not just going, and of course there's time where you go out there and you do drills and you play street ball and you just play paintball, but the way that our practices, the way Marcello has our practices ran is very structured. And there's
a reason. It's the mental preparation too, man, because you guys are going to get put in all of these 100%. Situations at the tournament. Mm-hmm. Every single one of you is going to be put in every single one of these situations.
100%.
And then, but the majority of teams aren't practicing that way. They're not 100%. They're not preparing for those moments.
100%. It's funny because at the tournament this last weekend, I couldn't tell you how many times one of the guys on the team were like, yeah, we didn't practice that situation. And Marcello's like, yeah, I it's not like I didn't know you guys are going to be in this situation, so it's kind of like a running joke because every situation that he set us up for and had us practice multiple times. Mm-hmm. Of course, we saw multiple times on Friday and multiple times on Saturday. So we were prepared, I feel.
Mm. Yeah, I felt we were prepared the first event as well. The things that we had talked about and discussed, we failed in executing, on Saturday, which is, the quote unquote Sunday at the WCPPL. It's the finals day. That's why we lost the regime, blowing a lead, being up a point, just making situational mistakes, when we didn't need to make moves, right? Just certain things that you can't do, certain things that are, the score and the clock we talk about all the time on PTG, the score and the clock will tell you how to play, period. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you have an advantage, you really, really cannot blow the advantage. And Friday, we actually, I don't know how much you want to talk about it, Shawn, but Friday.
Oh, we'll get there.
It was okay. I'll let you get there.
Yeah. Friday, our first game, I forget who it was against, but we won 6-1, played some good paintball. Then the second game we played against was our sparring partner, Vegas Brawlers. And we put ourselves in situation, like Marcello just said, we blew a lot of the situations that we just had practiced for the last 2 weeks in a row. And
that I've seen you guys execute to perfection.
Yes.
For weeks, for months, actually, not even just these practices.
Yeah. Touche. Yeah. And then the third game, we played against Collision, which was a combination of PB Fit. So it was Colt Lukow, Trent Mason, Scott Stewart, Josh Hallberg, Tyler from Aftermath. So, I mean, it was in all a pro excellent team, right? Veterans. And we just didn't execute and play team paintball, and they straight put it on us 5-0. I mean,
yeah, but that was one of those matches where the score looked really bad.
Yeah.
But we lost 3-on-2s where we had the advantage, 3-on-2.
Yep.
We lost a 4-on-2, so really like that score could have been 4-1, 5-0 in our favor as well. And it was these little mistakes that we made at the end. We got outclassed a little bit in the mid game, just by not using teamwork and all of that. But again,
and again, not playing the situations that we prepared for and we've been preparing for. And then our fourth game was against Seattle Cartel, another team that's been around for a long time, played in XL semi-pro, played, WC Premier Division for a long time. And, before that game, well, it was either do or die. We knew if we won, we would go on to Saturday. And if we didn't, we would be going home that night. And Marcello's thing in our pit, when back at our staging area, Marcello was like, guys, you need to not be scared to make moves. You need to be able to play team paintball. We have a lot of, we proved it on Saturday, but we have great, superstars, elite players, I feel, that are great individual paintball players. And we just weren't putting things together as a team. And before our fourth game against Seattle Cartel, we really stepped it up, and our communication was on point. Our breakouts were on point. Our situational awareness, everything was clicking. And I don't know if it was more of a do or die thing, and guys weren't scared to make moves and making moves, and knew it was either win or go home. And we ended up mercy ruling Seattle Cartel 6-1, and we made it into Saturday, luckily.
And there's something to be said about that. What you're talking about is really hard to do, but it's the most fundamentally important aspect of playing this game that we all love. And it's that the communication, but what are we doing when we communicate? We're building an overall picture, right?
Yep.
And it's really hard to do. And you can tell when the team's doing it and when they're having a hard time building the picture. And I think that's kind of possibly what you were alluding to, that cleared up. And then once that starts to happen, boom, you're making moves, you have clarity, 100%. and you're winning games.
And I would say the two games that we lost, it wasn't that we weren't communicating, we weren't having conversations. Truly, right? Like Riley said it about that clip with Dalton and Brandon on Instagram. We weren't doing that, right? We knew where they were.
Back left. Roque,
100, Snake won.
100. Cool. How are you going to win the game? That's what we need to be talking about.
Snake won, and it wasn't like, hey, I'm shooting this. What do you have? Hey, this person's doing this. Shoot this, right? Like, in the game 4, it was everybody was painting the entire picture. Everyone was working together. Everyone was working towards that one common goal. And it wasn't like this person was trying to put in 2 people to make the move. It was everyone was like, hey, this person has me in. Can you put him in so I can make a move? Can I slip under? Can I do this? And it was just, you didn't even have to watch the points. You could listen, and it painted the picture, right? Marcello had a good thing. Because, Vegas Golden Misfits, Vegas Golden Knights hockey, I think I kind of touched on the last time I was on it. But Marcello was like, hey, if you don't have the play, pass the puck. Pass it to your teammate. Let them make the move. Let them put the person in so you can make the move. Don't try and gun battle your way into 2 guns and get shot.
Love that. Yeah, we talk about that all the time
Pass
too.
the ball. Totally. It's just puck, the team's been on a big hockey roll right now, and it's funny. We've got the hockey player on next, which is dope.
Yeah.
We went to the Knights Oilers playoff game a couple weeks ago, and the Knights right now are on a run. Looks like they're going to go to the finals. Knock on wood. They're up 2-0 right now. They play tonight, I think, right?
Yeah, they do.
When you guys are listening to this, they probably have already played, but super badass. So yeah, that was kind of the mantra that I turned it into. I was like, okay, let's find some hockey stuff to, find a little bit there.
And he did perfect, right? Like after we played Friday, you could just see Marcello. After we knew we were in Saturday, Marcello's brain was just like pumping, right? Like his plays, like he was drawing up plays like, oh, you're going to like this one, Shawn. We're doing this. And he had like the slap shot play. He had the 5-hole. He had the backhand. And it was like all of our plays were named after hockey. And it was just like, it was amazing,
It's perfect because it's so applicable. It's just like basketball is 5-on-5, paintball 5-on-5, hockey 5-on-5. They all
100%
go together.
Totally.
100%. And it's like when people ask about paintball that have like no clue about it, it's like I have always, even back in early 2000s, I always compared it to hockey, right? Because it's like the 5-on-5, but they had the penalty box, right? They had halves, they had, things like that. So I was like, I could always compare like, oh, it's kind of like hockey. You have 15 guys, but 5 guys are playing and different lines come out for whether it's offense or defense. So I always like compared it to hockey. So it's just kind of,
it was rowdy. It was rowdy back then.
100%. 100%.
Oh man. 25-minute halves. For anybody that doesn't know, we had 25-minute halves when we first started.
I was looking on the Discord for some questions and someone asked one and I'm like, what don't I like? What do I like? And I'm like, I liked the 2 halves. I know it's probably will never come back. It's probably not feasible. Finances, time, scheduling, all of that. I understand it. But I loved the 2 25-minute halves. And you played on one side of the field and then you would switch. It wasn't back and forth after every point. I truly enjoyed that. But
it was crazy. And uncapped semi.
Yeah, I love that. And then, but, so that kind of, I think, sums up our Friday. And then going, Friday night and, I guess on Friday, Marcello and I could tell guys probably weren't as focused as they could have been, playing with some ego. If we lose a point, guys would come into the pit, shoulders down, just like upset. And it's like Marcello hit it right on the head. He goes, hey, no egos, guys. You know what I mean? Like we haven't earned anything. We're not better than anyone. And really Friday, after we went back to the hotel room, took showers, went and had a great team dinner at Sushi. And we came back to the hotel and met in the lobby, and Marcello just like focus, vision. You need to visualize every move, every shot off the break, every secondary, everything. Visualize it. You need to visualize everything. And know what you're going to do. Know what you're going to do as soon as that buzzer goes on Saturday. And it's the most focused I feel that our team has been, and our individual players. Some of the best paintball that I've seen our team and our individual players play since.
It's the best paintball I've seen the team play, period. Not even close.
Yeah.
The fact that on Saturday it was and you're giving away so many of our secrets, Shawn. But sorry. Hey, that's what we do on PTG. It's all good. Yeah. It's for the culture, baby. You still got to be able to execute it. Yeah. That was it. Friday night, I was like, look, we're done. We're done talking about anything outside of how the fuck we're gonna win this tournament. Excuse my language. That's all we're gonna do. So when you go back to the room tonight, you're talking to your roommate about moves that didn't work for them today. Learn from all of the mistakes that you made and that everyone else made. Talk to your roommate about what you're going to do differently tomorrow, their position, how they were playing it, what was working for them, what other players did against them in that position, that worked. Have as many conversations about the game as possible. Stop with all the distractions. No more distractions, period. And then the biggest thing was I wanted everybody to visualize a big moment that they were going to have on Saturday, whether it was shooting one person off the break, wrapping, and then getting a second kill right away in a big point in the semifinals. It's like 4-4 and, you need that kill and you get the kill off the break and then you shoot the person filling. So now it's 53, right? Or we're down a point, we're down a body, and all of a sudden you slip into the snake, go down, shoot 2 people. Visualize what big moment you're going to have. Everybody. Visualize all sorts of different big moments that you're going to have. And the team, I'll tell you what, when we showed up Saturday morning after that first match, I was like, whoa, every single situation we saw and we're in, I mean, there were no mistakes. There were no mistakes. It was so impressive to watch everybody contribute and everybody step up and really solidify the process and the work that we had put in, and not just the 2 weeks before this event. We've been working together for over a year now, right? These are the things that we've been discussing for over a year. So it was fantastic to see, man.
Yeah, 100%. And, we went into Saturday, our first game, I think we played against the Hunters, I believe, which,
Great
they
team.
have, Nicholas Hunt, they have Clay Matthews, they have a bunch of really good guys that have played together for
Clay Hughes. Clay Matthews is a
Green Bay Packers linebacker. Yeah. Clay Hughes. Sorry.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
Shout out to Clay.
Anyways, and
dude, Matthews is the beast.
Matthews is
no
beast,
doubt,
though.
no doubt. So Hughes
he probably would have knocked that X right over.
Yeah. So we went into the first game, and we, just like Marcello said, we executed on our plan and everything we put in motion. And I forget what the score was, but we won that game. And then the second game, we went up, I think, a quick 3-0. And then kind of sat back a little bit and just burned some time off the clock and won that one. And then we had a finals against TJ Bastards, which we've played them. I think this is the third or fourth time. We played them 2 times in Mexico, and we played them last WC, and we played them in the finals this time. And we obviously won. And it was great to, like Marcello said, it was great to see all of our team just playing as a team. I mean, it was fantastic from, old LTZ player Adam Ellis, Brennan Farmer, our Anthony Farindelli, Alex Barker, I think it was in the TJ Bastards game, right, Marcello, when Alex was out in the snake corner? Or was
oh my God, he almost won a 5-on-1. No,
yeah,
it wasn't
5-on-1.
It wasn't against the Bastards. It was the semifinal game against
Regime. And he's out in the snake corner, and it's him by himself, and he shot, I think, 4 of them, and he brought it down to a 1-on-1, but he ended up losing it, but he almost pulled off a 5-on-1. And just all of the things, just little moments, right before our finals game, we're sitting in the pit, and Marcello has us huddled up, and I won't give away too much, Marcello, but he looks us all in the eyes, and he goes, "What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go aggressive? You want to go punch him in the mouth the first point, or do you guys want to play pocket ball?" And we all look at each other and we go,
"Hold on." I said, I have a play I really want to do, but I need to know.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you guys want to come out really aggressive?
Right.
Could totally not work, or do you want to play conservative and see how it goes?
And we all look at each other and we go, "No, we want to be aggressive.
Punch him in the face." Yeah, Farmer.
We want to go punch him in the face.
Let's punch him in the face. And I was like,
"Let's go punch him in the face." And
yes.
Farmer's 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds, just big fireman, handlebar mustache. And like, "Let's go punch him in the face." And we're like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
And it's funny because right when he said that, he goes, "All right, starting 5, it's not the same. It's this person, this person, this person." And one of the guys on the team, Anthony Farindelli, he was gonna be on the starting 5 on the first point originally, but then after we answered that question, he goes, "Okay, Anthony, you're down. Adam, you're in." And Anthony's like, "Fuck." And he goes, "Never mind. I want to play defensive." So that was
intuitive.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. But the first play, Marcello sends young Ben Slofer. It's he's a great paintball player, but his true athleticism it's crazy.
Yeah, but it is his intelligence. That's what impresses me about Ben. And that's why, the kid just has a bright future, because I can talk about a move with him. The fact that, it was between the semifinals and the finals that I saw this move. No one had done it. This move got done once the whole tournament, and was the first point in the finals. And I was just kind of looking at different lanes, and I was like, "Oh my God." Ty, you remember how the X used to be with the pins that would lead off of it? So they had that at the WC. And you remember, you would go to their pin off the break sometimes and shoot crossfield people.
Yeah. And you live in the pin.
I was like, "Oh my God, this is set up perfectly," because everyone goes on this field is really hard to make it wide. So people would just go into the middle shooting wide. There was no real focus on the center as much, And so I saw this move, and I'm like, the route has to be perfect. We had to send someone out to the Dorito corner, which is a high risk, but that pulled the middle gun wide so that little inside route to their pin would be unseen. And I'm like, Ben, Ben didn't get the MVP. We gave it to Cam because of just how consistent Cam really pulled out a lot of games. And it was one of the toughest tournaments for me to choose who an MVP would be, because everybody had big moments, but Ben was such a weapon, dude. Tyler, I sent Ben all over the field, both sides. Every point,
Burrito
it was
side,
like
snake
he was
side.
in a different bunker, you know? So he was like, we would have like 4 conservative spots, and then Ben would just be a missile going somewhere, you know? And to have a player like that on your team is just incredible. So, you know, can't say enough about how Ben played. And then to execute the routes, because the routes that I was having him run, he would like sprint out to a dead zone, you know, and then do a bounce shot to get himself into the bunker, which is crazy. You know, and to execute that it's not just athleticism, it's his intelligence. And, you know, he really processes the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
He's making big boy moves out there.
Dude, it was crazy.
Up, dude,
so Marcel has him run, and this route is up towards the X, and he goes into their pin, and he shoots one guy going out to the snake corner, and he's in their pin on their side of the field, past the X. And he's living in there, and like I can't see him. I'm in the pit with Marcello. I'm not playing, and I'm like, Marcello, is Ben still alive? And he goes, yeah, dude, he's still in there. And another guy tries to fill out from like one of the back small Aztecs, and he shoots him. So now he's got kill 2, and it's 53. And I'm like, is he still alive? And it's like, I don't know, Marcello, probably like, it felt like 3 minutes, but maybe
it was crazy.
45 seconds, a minute, whatever. And he's still living in the pin. And I'm like, oh my God, he's still in there. Is he going to get another one? And so anyways, we won the first point, and he comes in. I go, Ben, he goes, I couldn't believe it. I made it in there. I shot the first one, and I shot the second one, and I still wasn't getting shot at. And he goes, I was amazed. I couldn't believe they were shooting at me, but he
didn't know what to do.
Yeah. He was like, I didn't know what to do. And he goes, and they finally came up the Dorito. They advanced from the Dorito corner to, I think, to the 100 or the 200, and he got shot in the pack, but the damage was already done. He cleared out the whole snake side, and we went down the side and beat him.
Absolutely.
But, it was
what a stud.
Yeah. The first play of the game was amazing. It was artwork.
Well, I just love that the team got in on it, you know, because I had a whole nother play set, and then I like it was literally like right before the game started. I pulled everyone. I'm like, "You guys down to fuck with this? You guys down?" And everyone was down. That was tight.
Yeah,
you gotta love that, man.
Because honestly, the previous event, I made a mistake in the quarterfinal match against Regime. You know, we were up a point, and I went a little too aggressive, and there was the play itself was actually okay. Or the move itself was actually okay. Yeah. You know, I just didn't brief our guys on making sure to look over him. You know, I didn't have one gun to look over him. So what happened is we sent Cam to their brick, and it opened the move up for them to bunker our guy and then live on our side of the field. And that's like the worst thing that could happen. You know? So we lose that point, kind of lose some momentum, you know? So it's like, obviously that's in my head. I'm like, okay, I've been a little too aggressive in the past. Let's make sure, but I really like this one.
you knew you had it all dialed in.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It was intense. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, that kind of summarizes the Saturday, aka Sunday of paintball for us at WC. And
shout out to Hinman, dude. It was a great tournament. I love what he's done with the changes with Premier being able to, you know, like it felt like you were the cream of the crop at the event. You know, late games, you know, times were all fantastic. Reffing was mostly good. You know, reffing's difficult. I know they had some issues with refs at the last second. So, you know, they still pulled it together, and Bobby, the head ref, I think did a great job of trying to, like, you know, if there was ever any issues, and they would really try to, you know, get down to like what was right and what wasn't, you know, and I appreciate that. And it was just a good event. I
truly feel, you know, a couple things as far as the reffing goes. Like we talked to Mike, you know, if people don't know, he brought the X package back, right? The big center 50X, and then the small X's with the closed in bottoms, like we played. You know, I truly feel from a reffing standpoint, Mike brought up, he was like, I feel it's going to be easier for my refs to be able to ref it because you don't have the big bricks and the big wedges all stuffed in the middle of the field when someone could go in there and you know, trade with someone and keep going, even though they're shot with the X. It's the middle of the field is a little more open. So it's easier for the refs to make, hey, it's a 1-for-1. You guys are both out. It's done.
I thought I originally was upset that he brought the X's back. I was like, that's dumb. In the past, you know, it makes no sense. I thought it was amazing. Dude, the field was so open from the sideline. You can see everything. You know, you can literally see the whole field. So it's exciting for spectators. Every move had to be earned. It brought the skill back into it. You had to use teamwork. The whole mantra of 2-man operation. Ty, I understand why like our era of players is so ahead of the next era generation of players. It's because we learned how to play on that kind of a field. You couldn't just close your eyes and run to a 50 and shoot 3 people. You had to earn everything either with elite gun skills or teamwork.
Yep.
And this field like really highlighted it again. So it was pretty cool to see the X back, you know.
I think, my wife, she's back here in Vegas. She says she hates paintball, but she watched every single minute of every single match. So she obviously loves it. Right. And I mean, she watches you guys when at NXL, she watches Go Sports with me. She sits on the couch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all day, 3 days, and watches every single thing. So, it's pretty cool. But I think from a visual standpoint, it was easier for the webcast. You could see more of the moves. You could see more things.
Yeah. Lindy's amazing. Shout out to the boss. Shout out to the Jefe.
Yeah, no doubt.
Holding it down. It was funny. Friday after the first couple games, she called me. And I was like, I'm not answering. She's too intense. We like lost the game. I'm like, Shawn, you got to deal with it.
I can't deal with this.
I can't deal with this right now. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Man, I've cursed too much on this show already. That ain't good.
Sorry.
Dude, Shawn, I got to say thank you for being a part of the Discord as well.
Yeah.
It's really fun having you in there. We actually have Andrew O'Brien, who's in the studio background right now, but I do want to dive into a couple of questions before we get off here on the Discord. Young Stevie's wondering, Shawn, if the Knights win the cup, will you make a VGK themed jersey for the Misfits?
Oh, that's tight.
So, it's funny that Stevie actually said that. It's like he was a part of our conversation. So before the first event or before this last event, Wade goes, hey, I want to do, the next jerseys that we do, let's do like a hockey themed jersey. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like this Colorado Blitz, if I'm semi-pro team, they kind of did like one after the Avalanche and they have like the string for the jersey. And I'm like, no, I don't want to bite their style. And so we come home Saturday night and we're all sitting in the garage, all 9 or 10 of us. And the guys are like, hey, we need to do our next jerseys like the Vegas Golden Knights retro throwback jersey. And I'm like, and Wade's like, see, I told you. So if they win the Stanley Cup or not, it doesn't matter. Our next set of jerseys are going to be somewhat of a Vegas Golden Knights retro throwback jersey.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's dope. Love that.
Yep.
Yeah, Vegas coming strong, and we got some good hockey that we're going to be watching here shortly. And actually stoked to talk to Andrew about.
I can't wait to listen to this podcast tomorrow. Yeah. I love hockey. So
it's amazing timing, dude. Amazing timing. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the guest questions here.
Okay.
The Fizz. Whoa.
Oh, Cam.
This question is for Andrew though, I think.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, Cyrus. Shawn, the boys had a rough prelims and barely squeaked through, but ultimately won the event. Do you prefer the prelims where you barely make it or the 4-0 route?
So I'll try and sum this up in 45 seconds. I think losing the matches we did on Friday taught us more than winning, right? Like the previous event, I don't feel we ever got tested, right? We never got tested in the snake. We never got tested being pushed, until our quarterfinals game against Regime in event 1. I feel that this event, losing 2 games in the prelims, showed us and taught us what we needed to improve on. I didn't like losing. I didn't like almost not making it into Saturday. So to kind of answer the question, I would like to lose more points, but win the matches on Friday, compared to event 1 where we mercy rolled almost every single team and didn't lose any points. It didn't really teach us anything for the quarter, semis, and finals on Saturday. I hope that kind of answers the question.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Well, congratulations to you and the boys and everything you guys have been doing.
You.
Shout out to Vegas Golden Misfits for the big win at the WCPPL. And we can't wait to watch you and the squad keep crushing it out there.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. And look forward to watching you guys in Philly in a couple weeks.
Yeah, baby. It's going down. It's going to be fun.
My brother. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Peace. You too, bro.
Bye.
All right. Pretty epic, dude. Pretty epic. Shawn's the man. Misfits.
Yeah, they're pumped.
Rocked. Yeah. And then, dude, I'm super excited for this one. Let's bring our man in.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas? How are
you?
There he is.
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man. Back home for the off season, so kind of just enjoying the stability that comes with that. So I'm pretty pumped, man.
Yes, you are. And we were looking at like the team you're playing for and doing our homework and like, wait, where's he tuning in from? Because we see you're with Austria right now and you're playing out there. And when does the season end and start for you guys out there?
So the season, it fluctuates, but usually over in Europe, the season will start, or training camp at least will start in July. and usually playoffs will end sometime around May, depending on how far you go. So I got back home at the end of February, which is, fairly early for myself. I mean, the earliest in a while. So, it's been nice. I'm in Rancho Cucamonga right now.
There we go.
Shout out Workaholics. So,
Yeah.
man, when I was back here, there was snow on the ground. So, I was shopping with my
Damn.
wife, and people were going nuts taking pictures of the snow. So, yeah, man, I've just been home enjoying everything. So
good, dude.
nice.
Yeah, the weather has been really peculiar the last like year or two. You're like, what is going on out here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Snow?
it's still gray and raining here in San Diego. It's pretty crazy. Hasn't stopped.
Yeah. Well, I was in Huntington last summer. We were living there, and man, it was, you got the June gloom and the marine layer and all that stuff. But in Rancho, a little inland, it gets hot. So man, after being over in Europe, it's pretty dark over there. So any chance I get to sit in the sun, I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're like, thank you.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Now, where in Europe were you?
This past season?
Yeah.
This past season I played in the Austrian League.
Okay.
And within the Austrian League, there's a team in Hungary. It's called Fehevar AV19. So I actually have my European passport and my Hungarian citizenship. So the goal was to play for the Hungarian national team. You have to play 2 years for the Hungarian team there. But yeah, a lot is up in the air right now. I'm kind of taking a step back and looking at all the options. I mean, 30 years old, I played 10 years pro. Stability sounds really nice in my life right now. And being in California, man, it gets harder and harder to leave every seat for every season, So, I owe it to my wife to kind of take a look at the options and try and figure out a plan here.
Yeah, this is actually why I was so excited to have you on the show, because as a pro hockey player that's like kind of bounced around and done a lot of stuff overseas, in hockey, I always thought was similar to paintball, way ahead of paintball for sure. But hockey was, for a long time not seen as, an equal to football, basketball, those kind of things. It was like a little bit of a niche sport. Now it's much bigger than it ever was. But then your story of like, bouncing around to play in Europe and overseas and finding ways to make contracts, that's actually a lot of what we do, in paintball. It's for me to make a full-time living out of this, I have to guest with teams in Europe, Australia, South America, and I'm constantly on an airplane. And it does, you bring up stability. It's like, stability has been amazing since COVID. A lot of that international travel has actually died down for me, and it hasn't quite picked back up to the pace that it was before. And I don't know if it will again, because we started this podcast during that time, and it's, generated, a different, source of income. And so being home is obviously beneficial. And dude, you're so right. The stability of like when you're home and it's like, okay, this is, I got my routine, my family, things that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
It's really special. You take it for granted when you're gone all the time. But at the same time, being, those experiences are also irreplaceable,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway from being in Europe. And I think that's why so many players go over there. It's for the experience. And, I lived in 3 countries during COVID, but the unfortunate thing was my wife, hasn't really come over with me. So, you're alone a lot of the time, and it takes a toll on you mentally. Right. And, your typical day overseas, I mean, same with North America, is you practice from, you're at the rink from 8 a.m. till 12 p.m, and when you're in these small European towns, there's not much going on. And dude, my couch looked like a half pipe by the end of the season. I spent so much time on it, man. So, like you said, it's, not only for myself, making these sacrifices, same goes for both you, right? Like Tyler, you got a family, and Marcello, you got fiance, girlfriend. Yeah. Okay. So, the sacrifices are there. So, but it also gives you a whole new outlook on so many things, right? Being able to travel the world. I lived in 5 or 6 countries, and I think that's more countries, than most people are able to see in a lifetime. So
to visit,
it gives you a whole new perspective on a lot of things. So for that, I'll be forever grateful, having those opportunities.
That's outstanding, man. And which 5 countries did you live in?
Oh man, I played in the Russian league, which is the KHL, but I was in Riga, Latvia. So I played for Dynamo Riga. I was in Sweden. I was in Finland. I was in Norway. I was in Germany, and I was in Hungary in the Austrian league. So
what was your favorite?
Wow. Germany by far.
Germany.
So this jersey right here.
Okay.
So that's
little
I
Red
played
Bull
for
action.
for Red Bull Munich.
Okay.
Dude, Munich is one of the coolest cities I've ever lived in. It's bumping there, and obviously playing for a Red Bull organization, it's top notch there. Flying private everywhere, and you're getting the best of the best. So it was an awesome experience. So I was there this past season, and they actually just won the championship this year. So
there we go.
A little jealous, but happy for the boys over there for sure.
Yeah, Germany's rad. I love going to Germany, and that jersey. For anybody who hasn't seen the YouTube, hop over to the YouTube and check that jersey out. That's crazy. It's got the Red Bull, both bulls charging at each other in the middle of that thing. Yeah. And, I'm sure the culture out there for hockey is a little bit different than the American culture as well. I'd love to hear, what that's like from someone who's been able to play in both leagues.
Man, absolutely. So North America, let's start with Europe. The European fan bases are absolutely nuts, man. So you're getting... Yeah, Germany, I think, has one of the most insane fan bases and fans for the Dell. It's called the DEL. You're getting 18,000 people in a rink. For example, you got Dusseldorf. They've taken all the seats out of the lower bowl and people just stand, right? So, you get it's basically like soccer. European soccer. You get the hooligans over there tossing fireworks on the field. But man, you just feed off that, right? It's absolutely insane, and that added to the whole experience of going over there. And I'm so fortunate that I was able to experience that. And it just varied on different levels. Like Sweden was the same, but obviously I was over there during COVID, so we played without fans, which kind of sucked. I know the fans are absolutely insane as well. Russia was crazy. They love hockey over there. They're diehards, but damn, that's a different breed of person, man. They're absolute animals over there. So,
dude,
that was another crazy experience as well.
I have 2 Russian players on my team, Houston Heat, Mishka and Fedorov, and man, they're just hardwired different, real hard-nosed athletes, and they really take the athleticism to a whole nother level, and that's like they were 2 of the most athletic players ever to come out of the country, and really drove and perpetuated a whole new wave and style of paintball being worked for and played with the way that they worked so hard to, become the best athletes that they possibly could.
Yeah, they can do it all, man. I was telling so many buddies that, there's so many Russians in that KHL league that can play in the NHL. They just don't want to, man. They're big, they can fight, they can skate, they can score. It's crazy, man. There's some big boys. I'm a big boy myself. I'm 6'4", 230, and I was a little scared going over there. So, but yeah, it was an incredible experience. It was a ton of fun.
Damn. Who are you rooting for in the NHL right now for the Stanley Cup?
Ooh, I got buddies on all 4 teams.
Okay.
But man, I got to say Vegas. I know there are a couple questions in that Discord there.
Yes.
Dude, I think Vegas would pop off if they won.
The team, the guy that we just had on, Shawn Moe, he's one of the owners and players of the team that I coach out there. And I was out there for practice last weekend, and we went to the playoff game against the Oilers.
Yeah.
Epic.
I heard you talking about that a couple episodes ago. It's wild,
dude. Some of the greatest energy. Have you been to that stadium?
Yes, I have.
It's incredible, dude. It's unlike any other sporting event I've been to. Like, the energy in that stadium is absolutely insane. They were down 2-0, and then there was a penalty, and Vegas just went on a run. They scored 3 goals pretty quick, and it was like the whole place was electric. Now they're up 2-0 right now, which is like kind of crazy. Looks like they're going to the finals.
It's not a hockey game, man. They put on an absolute show there.
Yes. It's a show for sure.
It's insane. So I'm going Vegas. I think that would be a ton of fun to see. They're fairly new, right? They're fairly new in the league as well. So it'd be cool to see, a new team win.
Totally. Yeah. I'm rooting for it too. I'm a fan.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Andrew has played for tons of teams across America as well. And I know you played 10 years pro, just about, right?
Yep. So I just finished up my 10th year,
Jeez, man, that's tremendous. Congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. And then you were with, you've been with the Utah Grizzlies, San Diego Gulls, Milwaukee Admirals.
The Gulls. Those are my
Stars.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Stockton. You were in Stockton?
I know. Yeah.
Stockton Heat.
I loved it there, man. I know it's a pretty seedy area. I lived up in Lodi, actually. So
yeah,
I was
Lodi's great.
Was that 15 minutes north of Stockton?
Yep.
Dude, I lived down the street from the Diaz brothers. So
That's right.
we ran into them all the time at the grocery store, but, kind of turned my head, didn't want to get knocked out. So, you know what, man, underrated city. I know it gets a bad rap, but we had awesome fans. And unfortunately, they actually just moved to Calgary. So that affiliate team, that's the Calgary Flames farm team for anybody who doesn't know. So I had a great time there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was I did structural inspections for like real estate transactions for almost a decade in Stockton, and that was my turf. Like that was where I knew that city inside and out. I had looked at every building in the surrounding areas, and I would go to Lodi all the time as well. And for anybody that doesn't know, Lodi is like wine capital. They got some great wines out there as well.
Yeah. We actually lived in a complex that backed onto like a little vineyard. I think Michael David Winery, I think it is. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
So let's go. Unlimited wine there.
There we go. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I had to highlight that, man, because I grew up in Modesto, and cut my teeth in Modesto, in Manteca, and actually Lodi at the Grape Festival area. They had a paintball field there for a little while, and I would travel up there with Bob Long and the Oakland guys, and we would all go train out there.
Love that.
To kind of hit on that, you've been a fan of paintball for a long time, since you were a youngster. So I kind of want to dive into your story and see where the two intertwine, the paintball and the hockey story, and what your upbringing looked like that, brought you into the love of paintball, and then obviously took you and made you a star in hockey.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I think like so many other people, it started with a birthday party. 12 or 13 years old, just a minor hockey teammate of mine brought me out, and I think the rest was history. But obviously when you're 13 years old, you don't have too much cash to your name, no driver's license, so you're relying on your parents a lot, and the Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and whatnot. But so when I was younger, I think, what was my first gun? A Spider Victor, I want to say. Yeah, Spider Victor, and then I moved into the Piranha E-Force GTI. Smart parts. Red to black fade. You kidding me?
Yeah.
No, you got those colors twisted, bro. It's all about the blue.
Get out of here.
Blue to black. Get out of here.
Get out of here, boy.
What side are you on?
Smart parts, a nice Ion.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was the one to have at the time. The Ion.
That was fire, man. My dad actually just sent me a picture of it. I'm like, you got to hold on to that.
Was such a cool concept because you could just quickly change how it looked, like that was so unique at the time.
Yeah, you could go from like blue to red and make it look real good,
Yeah. You could be like, my gun's not shooting enough people, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it blue. And then let it loose on people.
Or you could go red and be styling on them.
To follow up on that, obviously, a lot of things had to take a back seat, and when trying to live out a childhood dream. So, man, I think, 2 summers ago, I was like, damn, I'm living in Southern California, and, arguably, the biggest paintball hotbed in the world. I'm 30 minutes from SC, 35 minutes from Jungle, an hour away from Camp P. So I was like, dude, I'm going to go, obviously all my stuff's still at my parents' house back home, and I'm not using a Piranha E-Force GTI, So, went into the store, and I just picked up a ton of gear, but I think that was the worst thing to do because I left for my season a month later. So this past summer, actually when I got back about 2 months ago, I went into the shop. I picked up a CS2, a Lux. I went all out. So I got to give a shout out to Mountain View Paintball. I live down the street from Mountain View. So there's some great people in there, and I think they're sick of me. I'm in there at least 2 or 3 times a week, man. I got all the time, so I'm in
amazing,
there.
Dude.
I'm spending too much money on paintball stuff now. I consider myself, an equipment whore, if you want to say that.
What are you doing? Not this weekend, but next weekend, June 3rd and 4th.
Probably nothing, man. I got all the time in the world right now.
Come out to ASG. You won't be able to hop on and play, but there's going to be 4. Well, I'm sure you could play, but there's going to be 4 pro teams. Us, Ironman, Aftermath, and Diesel. We're having a practice getting ready for the Philadelphia event. Awesome. We should come out, dude. Bring your gear. I'm sure you get in somewhere, but come out.
Yeah. 100%. Appreciate that invite. I'll be there. Sounds good.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I look forward to it.
But yeah, like following up again, yeah, man. So I was kind of just going out to different fields by myself. And dude, I know we've talked about it, Tyler. You know, the paintball community, it's an incredible one, man. And you know, I was just going out solo, and dude, the amount of people you meet, you know, I was leaving with Instagram handles, I was leaving with numbers, man. I was like, hell yeah. And people are hitting me up, and I got to give a shout out to Johnny Cortez. He's the man behind Unrefined Bands. So me and him kind of linked up on Instagram. You know, he's been paintballing his entire life, loves hockey. I'm the other way around, right? I played hockey my entire life, loved paintball. And we kind of just linked up, and he's kind of kickstarted my obsession with, you know, paintball following, you know, my hockey season. So he's had me out at Hollywood and all these, you know, different places. So, man, you know, it's incredible, you know, the amount of people who are so welcoming and all that. You know, I played 10 years pro hockey, but I find myself, you know, being a rookie here again. So, you know, man,
that's the best part, isn't it? Yeah, that's 100%. Like any new activity, sport, whatever I pick up, it's so cool to go from being an expert in one thing and you understand the process and everything that it takes to become really good at something, and say, okay, let me see if I could apply those same principles, that same philosophy to something else, and see how good I could get at that. It's a great challenge. And just like the, you know, blank canvas and just being able to truly curate, like, you know, what you want out of that. It's it's a cool thing.
You nailed it, man. It's like, I got all the time in the world right now. So I'm like, hey, let's see, you know, where this takes me. And I know last weekend at the WC event, you know, with the long shots, I was out there helping. I was actually running a hockey school, so I didn't have much time, but we had Greenspan as our coach. So, you know, I've met a ton of, you know, athletes, but I think, you know, that was probably one of the cooler moments. And, you know, obviously watching him and, you know, the Greg Hastings tournament paintball days and all that stuff. You know, I was able to talk to him for a couple minutes. So, dude, I'm all ears right now when it comes to paintball, man. And, you know, just getting out, practicing with the long shot guys, you know, Brian and Phil, they're running a great community. And, you know, for myself, being able to work towards something new, you know, like, you know, like you said, Marcel, it's a new challenge, and dude, I'm completely open to it. So, it should be fun.
Yeah, man, that's
the best.
100%. That's amazing. It's like, you know, are you familiar with Chris Odom?
Yep, absolutely. I listen
like,
to,
you know,
listen to the pod.
Just think it's thank you for that, by the way. That's awesome. That's an honor.
Andrew.
Truly,
man, you guys have helped me kill so much time on the bus and, you know, miserable flights. And so,
Nice,
no, I
dude.
appreciate you guys. You
Love
guys are
that.
obviously, you guys are incredible for the community. So
we're all in it together.
Speak on behalf of thousands of people when I say that.
Hell yeah,
Dang,
brother.
man.
Much appreciated.
What an honor. Yeah, we love you.
But,
And we love the crew, dude. It's all love for the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Facts. Yeah, but it's like similar thing, you know, Chris Odom, NFL player, so cool that he has this passion for paintball, because it's another outlet to try to see like what you can do with your physical abilities, you know, and your mental abilities as well. Paintball is such a mental game. That's my favorite part about it, is that it's, you know, I do imagine a time, an era where every single professional paintball player is running at least a 4.40 quick, athletic, and it will change the game a little bit, right? But
absolutely,
you can't outrun a paintball, no matter how fast you are.
You can't.
No, you can't outrun a paintball, and decision making is always going to be superior to that athleticism. But then even in sports, I think this goes unnoticed, like in football, certainly in hockey, soccer, it doesn't matter what the sport is. It's not just your speed that gets you open. It's the reading the footwork of your opponent and knowing when to cut to the right. And, you know, it's the decision making in those micro details of, you know, when to, you know, cut to the left and cut back, or predicting what the offensive player is going to do. And the mental game is the most important part of sports. Now, in paintball, we haven't gotten to a point to where the physical ability across the board is to a completely elite level. But we're much better than we were 10 years ago. That's for sure. You know, but I'm so curious to see what our sport looks like when it's like, you know, across the board, you just have really extreme athletes that are, you know, elite, and also have the mental side of it.
Yeah. And what I love about paintball is every situation is unique, right? Every scenario is different. Sure. Obviously you got, you know, guys on the Dorito side and Snake side, you know, but, yeah, it's, you know, being sharp on your toes, and it's the controlled chaos I love. That's what I like to say. It was, you know, when I was at the WC event last week, and it was like, I was in the pit and I was just helping out. Like I said, I wasn't able to play, but I was like, hell yeah, man. I was like, I love this controlled chaos, this intensity. It's a different chaos and intensity when you compare it to hockey or any other sport. It's a very unique feeling.
Yeah, it is, man. It's indescribable unless you get out there and if you've played, what he's talking about. Yeah. But it just gets your blood going, and you, as somebody who's viewing the game as well from the sidelines, are learning a lot about the nuances of the decision making and everything that goes into that. And I'm sure you'll be able to apply everything you've picked up playing pro hockey into making really good, quick decisions on the field as well, because they're going to transfer at your level. You're making really, really quick decisions on the fly, where to move the puck, how to move your feet, and reading eyes, reading situations. So it's probably going to help you a lot once you dive deeper into paintball. And you're 30 years old, which means you can still play pro paintball, because pro paintball players, play forever.
That's the best part. Yeah, I'm hoping a couple things translate. I mean, I'm a big guy, so I have a tendency, like, I've got like limbs hanging out behind bunkers and shit. So guys like, man, tuck your foot in, like I can see it, So it's
trying, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. Bro, the bunker's like blowing over, man. I'm running into it.
Yeah,
dude's a beast.
Well, it's a good thing, the NXL and a lot of the leagues have the big bunker sets that we're running with. There's some good sized bunkers that we can get you behind out there.
Yeah, perfect. I need them. them.
Dude, legend.
Yeah, Andrew, where were you born?
So I was born in Hamilton, Ontario, little suburb about an hour outside of Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Steel City,
awesome.
They call it.
Cool. Yeah. I was picking up a little bit of a Canadian accent.
Yeah. People either think Minnesota or Canada. So.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
But I'm missing a tooth.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
He's a hockey player.
When I'm buzzing around at the paintball field, that's a conversation starter all on its own, right? So
yeah.
Back home, everyone's like, oh, you play hockey. Out here, it's like, well, do you brush your teeth, or what's the deal? But man, there's a ton of hockey fans that play paintball. I'm like, oh, I used to be with Anaheim, and they're like, dude, no way. And like I mentioned, that just stirs up a conversation, and it's awesome because they're obsessed with hockey. I'm obsessed with paintball, and you just intertwine that way. So best of both worlds.
Now I gotta ask, and hopefully this isn't like incriminating evidence. Are you allowed to play paintball in your contracts? Like in our sport as professional paintball players, like we don't have contracts like that. We can kind of go and do whatever we want in the off season or whatever. Are you guys held to a different standard, or is it only during the season, or how does that go? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. So no, it's a great question. So I technically don't think you're allowed. I know in North America, like basically if you get injured outside of hockey, it's not covered by the team. So
sure. Yeah.
If you were to go skiing or snowboarding or whatever it may be in season, and I know a ton of my buddies playing in the Austrian league, dude, they're skiing, snowboarding every other day. So you're not going to turn down that opportunity, but at the same time, you want to enjoy your life. But
exactly.
No, I mean, probably not. It's the short answer. Who knows, man? I'm paintballing either way. So
enjoy yourself.
It is what it is.
Sorry, guys. He's doing it either way, baby.
yeah, I'm doing it.
Dude, you gotta
play the game. You gotta play the game.
You got it. You got it.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
How funny is it that Tyler and I, we didn't plan this. We wore the same shirts.
I saw that when I was backstage. I'm like, these guys planned this.
We didn't plan this. Literally, I showed up and I was like, oh, nice shirt, Ty.
Yep.
It looks great. That's funny.
XXV, the label, hooked us up with these shirts. And actually, I'm going to be in Wasaga Beach in a month. Yeah, in like a month and a half, I'm going up there to train just the local paintball community out there.
Awesome. That place gets pretty greasy in the summer. Yeah.
That's funny, Ty. I'll be in Toronto in July 1st.
Yeah, I'm going July, in the middle of July there. I'll be out there.
Nice.
PTG, Canada.
Paintball action, brother.
Yeah, Marcello, you'll be there for Canada Day.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Epic.
Cool. So what I have to do? Double down on the Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons, a Blue Jays jersey.
A beaver tail?
A beaver tail and a poutine.
You're
2 ice caps and a beaver tail. That's what I'm going to do to celebrate.
Yeah, perfect.
Done.
The Canadian breakfast.
Not going to lie, dude. Those ice caps are pretty insane. They're delicious.
They're so good, man.
They're delicious.
They're good.
Yeah, and beaver
I miss
tails.
them out here.
Yeah, 100%. It was funny. The first time I went up to Canada, it was probably 2010, 11. And we went to a beaver tail place That's what it's called, right? Beaver tail.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
They're
Got one of
something
those.
different here. I know that because my wife.
Oh,
is
they have them here. I mean, I was like, we need to bring those back. We need to have a place that just has ice caps and beaver tails. You know, so like
and poutine, man.
I haven't done the poutine. Yeah, I haven't done the poutine.
Have you had it, Tyler?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. French fries, cheese curds, and gravy.
Yeah.
Dude, there is a French guy, Marcello, who actually opened a little stand at Valley View for the Gulls games, man. Okay. There's like, so there are like 50 people in line at all times. It was popular. Yeah.
All right. I'll have to check it out.
Try it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them on the menu. I'm familiar. Try to avoid that stuff if I'm not traveling.
Oh, yeah.
That's the good stuff right there.
That's the good stuff. 100%. Yeah, man.
And Canada had a huge paintball scene probably when you were younger, I would imagine. And how did you? Yeah, the CXBL was major back then.
Yeah, so I remember going to a couple events. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It could be that, but I was 12, 13. It was at the Polson Pier, if that name rings a bell, right downtown Toronto. That was the first event I actually ever went to go watch live. My mom took me with a couple buddies. And
was it indoor?
It was outdoor. It's right on Lake Ontario. Big outdoor. Yeah, really cool setup. So that was the first event I actually went to. And that was incredible. I'm not too sure what the actual event was, but that's the first one I do recall going to.
And you said you were about like 13 or 14?
Yeah, right around then. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. And
I still love it. Yeah.
When did the hockey get really serious for you? I'm sure, it was kind of like, I love paintball, but hockey's definitely the scene, especially where you're living at. So how did that like transition work out? And then like your journey begin into that really competitive hockey?
Yeah, well, obviously being from Canada, I think I had skates on before I started walking. So,
before you had shoes on.
Yeah. Started skating at like 3 or 4.
Real quick. You said something that I thought was funny. You said, stay sharp on your toes. And like our expression is quick on your feet.
Yeah.
Sharp on your toes, which is like a ice skate reference in a way.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
But no, hockey starts pretty young there, man. It gets, serious at, 13, 14, 15. I know your OHL draft year, which is the Ontario Hockey League. That's like a big major junior hockey league. Your draft year is when you're 17. So unfortunately, I didn't get drafted at 17. I was still, believe it or not, a pretty small guy. I hit a late growth spurt. My dad's 6'5". He played football. My sister played college basketball. She's 5'11". My mom's 5'11". So It was only a matter of time. So I hit a growth spurt at like 17. I went from like 5'11" to 6'3", put on about 25 pounds, and ended up actually going to Quebec, played in the QMJHL, which is their major junior hockey league, at 18. So a little bit later, and ended up getting drafted by Anaheim at 19. 18 turning 19, which is 2 years removed from my actual draft year.
Jeez. What was that like, dude? Like 19?
It was surreal, man. It was surreal. Yeah. That's crazy. Was the draft was in Pittsburgh, and I had talked to a couple teams. I didn't expect to get drafted, but my agent at the time was like, "Hey, let's go check it out. We'll go with a couple buddies." And funny story, I was actually eating a hot dog when I heard my name. So I was in the stands, and me and my buddy, we went to grab a quick dog, and we were just crushing it.
The camera turns on you, and you're just
camera turns on me, man. So usually they organize it where guys from the same team are in the same section, right? So they announced my team name, and my teammate in front of me, who was supposed to get drafted higher than me, stood up, and they ended up calling my name. So I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Is that me?" And then obviously from there, you kind of just black out and go wherever you're told. Yeah, man, incredible
18, 19 in hockey. Is there no like you don't have to do any college or?
So that's another route. You can either go the college route, which seems to be the more popular route, in the past 5 years. But major junior is, you live with a billet. So the major junior is made up of 3 major leagues: the QMJHL, which is in Quebec, the OHL, which is in Ontario, and the WHL, which is the Western Hockey League. So BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and then a couple American teams up on that northern west coast there. But college, guys develop a little quicker there. A lot of big boys come out of college. They love lifting. Seems to be the more popular route, like I said. But I had no interest in, from any schools. So I guess major junior was my only option at the time. And, I ended up going as a walk-on, walk-on at a tryout and did it at a camp. So, pretty crazy story. Everybody has their own story, and I guess that's mine.
Bro, that's insane. You went full beast mode. You stepped up in that and said, what's going on up in here?
Yeah, I did. I sure did.
Damn. That's crazy. Well, congrats, man. That's really tremendous. And then, so, you're a pro hockey player, young man, not even 21, can't even go to the bar.
No.
But you're running around and you're playing these huge games. What was that like in the beginning? And then, what was it like transferring? Because you've played for several different organizations as well and done really well throughout your career. So what has that journey been like for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, when you're a little kid, your ultimate goal is to play professional hockey. So I turned pro at 20. I was drafted by Anaheim, like I said. I spent 3.5 years with the Anaheim Ducks organization, then ended up getting traded to Nashville, where I spent time in Milwaukee. And then from there, I went to, the Dallas Stars organization, and then finished up my North American career with the Calgary Flames organization, where I was in Stockton. So, you know what, man, I honestly wish, I could kind of do things over and, take some time to appreciate what I did as a professional athlete. I think, not only for myself, but maybe for other athletes, we get so caught up in the moment, and we never actually take any time to realize how far we've come as an athlete and as a person. So, dude, when I was living in San Diego, I lived in Del Mar, Marcello, in a beach house, like at 22 years old, 23 years old. And, obviously, as in any other sport, there's, the highs and lows. And for myself, I wasn't able to keep that line right in the middle. It was either incredible or terrible. And, as a 23-year-old, on an entry-level contract, you either want to get back up to the NHL or, do well on the ice. And when things aren't going well at the rink, nothing's going well. So, it's tough in that sense. And, I talked to my agent, I'd just be bitching and complaining, and he'd be like, dude, like, take a look out your front door, look where you are. You're 23 years old playing professional hockey in Southern California. And, if I asked 10-year-old me what I'd like to be doing, that would be it, but like I said, you get so caught up in the moment. And, but damn it, it's been such a fun ride, man. And
well, that's because you're a go-getter, dude. You're a go-getter, and you're a real professional, and you want the best for yourself. So,
exactly.
You're always going to be looking for, how can I be on top of this mountain here? And that's what got you into those positions. But you're absolutely right. You got to stop and smell the fresh ocean air as well and be like, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely so true. It's true.
It's difficult to do. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, but you have absolutely obliterated the rink. And I know, like you said, there was the low times as well. What's some advice for navigating those moments? Because it can get really dark too in sports. It can get for all the limelight and the glory and the glitz and the glam that comes with pro sports. There are some tremendous low moments. So how do you navigate those moments?
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm an overthinker, right? So, I mean, pretty cliche thing to say, but I mean, time kind of heals everything. And, it's not always as bad as what it's made out to be. And I've realized that. And, even to this day, I still overthink shit. And it's like, man, it's going to be okay. And I think, I wish I was able to tell, 20-year-old me that, everything's going to be okay and things are going to work themselves out. And, I've always managed to, pull myself out of these ruts. And, I mean, like you said, there are, a lot of low times, but, I had a ton of incredible teammates that I was able to lean on as well. A couple older NHL veterans who, would take me out to golfing or, go out for a nice extended lunch in Pacific Beach or whatever, whatever it was. But, no, man, I think it's, you know, you just got to stay positive, enjoy the moment, and just try and take it day by day.
That's the best advice right there, man. And yeah, those extended lunches, they can be fun out there in PB.
Yeah.
Get into a little trouble.
Yeah, we get there at 1. We're like, oh God, it's 9 p.m. Baja Beach
coming
Club,
back from Moondoggies.
Yeah. What moonshine, whatever it is, man. That place.
There's a slew of them.
There's so many of them. Yeah.
I lived there my second year, so I went from Del Mar, nice, like relaxed, like you know, a bunch of old people.
That's close to where I live.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then just creased it right up in Pacific Beach, man. I bought a longboard and I was just buzzing around there all day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that was probably – San Diego was incredible as well. So I was fortunate to be there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, dude, I got to ask, obviously, you know, professional hockey player for 10 years, hockey has their shit together. Paintball is trying to get their shit together. What are some major differences that you see in paintball that might be holding our sport back from, you know, taking the next step and becoming somewhat mainstream?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it a couple episodes ago, man. It's like, I think somebody just needs to buy into what paintball is. Like, you look at F1 and you got this Netflix documentary, and like, man, I don't think there's a vlog or documentary on YouTube that I haven't seen, right? Whether it's like the Dizon docs or you know, the best kids in Texas or 15, you know, the Dynasty doc, or you know, I think if you can just get a platform to you know, do like I don't know if you guys have seen like the 24/7 HBO series, you know, the behind the scenes where they follow an NHL team, and do that. And I know like Go Sports has done that, but get it onto a platform where, you know, it's accessible. And, you know, like myself, it's like, dude, if I'm seeing this, I'm like, when is this next event? I want to go watch. You know, it's intense. It's crazy. You know, I watched the F1, you know, Netflix thing, and I'm like, dude, paintball's more exciting than this, you know? It's an extreme sport. And I think just being able to expand and touch a different, you know, fan base. I mean, that's the, you know, a big part as to why I wanted to do this is, you know, I got NHL buddies who are sharing this podcast, and I want to be able to reach out to a different group of people. And dude, it's an exciting sport. It's crazy, man. Like when I was at the event last weekend, I was like, this is insane. I was nervous. I wasn't even playing. You know, it's like, it's so much fun, and it's such a, you know, a fun sport. And, you know, I think people need to give it a chance. And I think there is a market for it, you know?
Absolutely. And Andrew, man, thank you so much for the kind words and for being such an integral part of this fabric moving forward, man. It's really going to take all of us to make this thing pop, but you're absolutely right. Paintball is exciting, man. And there's some moments that if you capture those moments the right way and deliver it and package it the right way to the masses, it's going to be a captivating moment, and you can really change a lot of people's lives in so many ways, because this game has changed all of our lives sitting here. I know that.
Absolutely,
you know, whether it's giving you something to do on the weekend or, you know, having a goal to chase, there's so many reasons that we all play this game. And it's one of the most fun sports. I mean, I've played every sport imaginable. I used to play hockey when I was a little grom, you know, some street hockey. I played basketball, football, traditional, golf, non-traditional, every extreme sport you can imagine. And
I know you don't play basketball, bro.
Oh, you'll get dunked on.
I know you don't play basketball. You keep talking about this basketball, bro.
Come on over.
Stop
I got a court in my front yard.
Shoot or
I got
shoot.
a court. Hey,
Shoot
front yard,
bro. Let's
See
go.
me in the front yard. Meet me outside.
Stay indoor on the hardwood. All right, I'm not messing around with no concrete.
Catch me outside on the streets out here.
Catch me outside.
Right.
Catch me outside.
So, but it's like, you know, paintball, nothing does what paintball does. The way that you're able to play that cat and mouse game on the paintball field is like nothing else that you experience, you know, and then sinking a nice shot, you know, having a great assist within a teammate, you know, helping them accomplish a goal. Those things, it is, man. It truly is. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you, man, for taking the time to come on here, taking the time to, you know, go to the fields and help us on this journey. Cause like I said, it's going to take us all, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
Hell yeah,
what,
man.
Hey, Andrew, I'm sorry. I think you did say, what event were you at this last weekend?
The one at ASG. I know you were there.
You were at WCPPL?
Yeah. I reached out to you on Instagram. I slid into the DMs, but I was only there for a couple hours. As I was pulling out, I saw that pulling out of the driveway there, I saw that you posted a story, and I was like, damn, man. I was like, I should have messaged him a little sooner.
Dude,
Bro,
the Discord.
Did I read your message?
No, I don't even think so. I got like my name's not even on my Instagram. So I was like, damn, man,
I'm so bummed about that.
I wish I would have messaged him earlier, introduced myself. But yeah, man, that was that was a great event. I was only there for a couple hours, right in between. Like I said, I was running a hockey school close to home here. So I buzzed out there and wanted to catch that. So I saw that you medaled. So congrats on that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was an epic event. Those are tough to win. Mike Heenan runs a very competitive league. That's, as for regional events, it's the most competitive regional event in the country, in my opinion. And I've coached and seen many of the other top regional events. So Hinge, he does a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a ton of fun. I wish I was able to stay a little longer, but it was cool being in the pits, and it was absolutely hectic in there. So,
dude, you joined us in PTG world in the Discord chat, and thank you for being a part of that community as well.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And just so everybody out there knows, as of today, you're hearing this right now, Patreon is offering free trials. So you can join our Patreon, which includes the Discord chat, for free. Give it a try. Check it out. See if you like it. And be a part of the PTG World chat, which is like every sub thread you could possibly think of, from scenario paintball, tournament paintball. We're going to probably have like a whole hockey discussion after this show, in there. And it's just a really fun place to be. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I love talking about paintball. Like, there's the gear talk, I'm in like the, our team chat here, the long shots, gear talk, schedule. It's, buy, sell, trade. I love that stuff. Yeah. So I was like, damn, man, I need another community where I'm able to talk paintball. So I never used Discord before, getting into the paintball scene recently. So it's a ton of fun, man. Like I love reading up on stuff. So I was like, dude, I got to get in here.
Dude, we didn't even know what Discord was before we started.
I didn't either.
And then we realized it was actually like, we were like, oh, we'll just throw the Discord in there, and maybe
stick it in the side of the computer, right?
Yeah. And come to be, it's like, it's the best thing we ever did.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun,
100%.
man. Yeah. I had no clue what it was either, but I'm glad I do now.
Yeah, it's the best, man. Well, dude, I do want to dive into the paintball journey moving forward. Like, so you said you have your gear now. You're playing as often as you can, and I know that you're getting married. Congratulations.
No, I got married. So if you saw a post on my Instagram, I had like 100 people say congrats. That's actually one of my best friends. We look the exact same. I'm like, no, we got married. Like, my wife and I got married 2 years ago. But I understand where the confusion comes from. I had buddies being like, yo, congrats. I'm like, no, man, you were at my wedding. You were there.
Well, then congratulations on the marriage. And you're going to have to get your wife out there to play too, because women's paintball is on the rise, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many women's paintball teams that are thriving now. And paintball is cool because it's like, it doesn't matter, young, old, whatever, you can play paintball and be effective out there. So it'd be cool to see both of you running around and having fun too.
Yeah, she wants to come out and watch next week. I think we're going to Camp Pendleton for a little bit of a send-off. I think there's a ton of guys down there. So
bummer.
Actually, funny story. That's when I was first drafted by Anaheim. They brought all the prospects out there for, they rented a couple fields, and so they brought all the boys out there and had a fun day there. So it's kind of come full circle. So the plan is to head there on Sunday, I believe. So about an hour away from me. So yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun, I think. So I'm going to head there and
it's
hopefully bring the wife.
Heck yeah, you guys will have fun. It's a bummer that that park is closing, because it's one of the best parks in Southern California. So
yeah, absolutely,
huge bummer.
Yeah, sending tons of love to Fran and Nikki. I know that they're trying to find a way to keep some type of field going in the future, but nothing's set in stone. But they're looking at all avenues, and they're not going to be, from what I understand, not going to be selling the stuff for a little bit and trying to find another way to bring some more paintball to life out there in SoCal.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need it. They're some of the few field owners that truly care about the sport and providing an elite, crisp, clean experience for the players, which is so important. We talk about that on the show all the time. Like, you can't have, your mom taking a group of kids to a paintball park that looks like a junkyard.
Exactly.
right? And you show up and you go, what is this? I don't want to leave my kids here. This makes no sense. You know,
Yeah,
we need
you
nice
mentioned it.
facilities. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, that was pretty much it. You need nice facilities, straight up, that parents want to drop their kids off at, that people want to be at. You know, it's not nice when you show up to a paintball park that's in the middle of nowhere and it's completely run down. You can tell it's like you don't want to touch anything, so you're afraid you're gonna get tetanitis. You know, like, come on, let's have some clean, decent facilities over here.
Yeah, watch that needle over there. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
No, it's so true, because I remember when I was younger, my mom would drop us off at a field back home in Toronto. I'm pretty sure it's closed down now. And she's like, "What is this?" You know, like, just this old rundown building downtown Toronto. I'm like,
that was the standard. You know, the standard is raising now. There's great fields across the country, and they're stealing all the business. So it's forcing every field to have this like standard of care, you know, standard of quality, which is very important.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, I know you talked about these hockey schools as well. What's going on with the hockey school? You're helping the youngsters learn the ropes?
Yeah, so kind of happened organically, I guess you could say. There's actually a junior hockey team down the road from me, the Ontario Junior Reign. Their GM and head coach is from Canada, and he kind of just reached out and asked if I would help with the team at the end of my season when I got back a couple months ago. And you know, from there, I think it's a perfect market because there's not many ex-professional hockey players or professional hockey players in the area. So they kind of snowballed into like a ton of parents, you know, asking for more information. They wanted me working with their kids. So, you know, it's the perfect, if I am done, transition for me. You know, it keeps me out of the house. It keeps me in the rink, and, you know, it kind of allows me to express my passion for the game in another way.
Totally.
You know, it's so awesome seeing, you know, younger kids with a huge smile on their face just want to learn. It's nice and refreshing. You know, you kind of get sick of the boys, you know, back in season who are just grumpy old 15-year vets, you know. So, dude, it's been a ton of fun. You know, I don't know where it's going to take me, but I don't know if I'm going to do it, you know, long term. But for right now, you know, I'm loving every second of it. You know, it's a ton of fun. And it's right down the road too, right? So still get to be home for, you know, 75% of the day and hang out with my wife, hang out with my dog. So
yeah, what a rewarding gig. That's great.
Absolutely. Pretty fortunate.
Is there some good talent you're seeing in the schools there?
Yeah, they're young. So I'm working with kids, you know, anywhere from, I got a 4-year-old actually. 4-year-old. He's buzzing around on the ice. Yeah.
Dang.
I got a 4-year-old anywhere up to like 13. So just trying to show them the ropes. You know, whatever they need help with, I'm trying to give them some good advice.
Yeah, that's like, you know, I was just out at in Alabama this last weekend. Shout out to Brother in Arms Paintball Park. If you're in the Alabama area, definitely check them out. And we had a training event, and we probably had like 6 or 7 youngsters that were between the age of 11 and like 14, 15. And that for me is the most rewarding, is seeing, and same with BKI, Marcello and myself, we do PTG training events, we do BKI together, and you know, being able to hardwire these youngsters with the proper data and information and really streamline them to success is what means the world to us. Seeing them take the field, make good decisions, make good shots, you know, to have them tag you in an Instagram post where they're training in their backyard or something like that. That shit is inspiring to me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. I think, and even being able to see you two guys on the field, it's, you know, it's inspiring. It's like, you know, I went to a couple not NHL camps, but camps as a kid where there was an NHL player where, you know, and my eyeballs were wide open, you know, you're all ears, you want to take in all the information. It's the coolest thing in the world. And even for myself, you know, got the, you know, these little kids are so pumped to be able to work with me. And, you know, that means the world to me, right? Like it's so special. And, you know, that goes for you two as well. So it's also, you know, you're growing the community. It's having you guys go out, you know, to a field and travel around the States and teach, you know, the next generation of young little goats, if you want to say.
Hey,
my guy, dude. He's the guy in this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby. Shut up.
Let's go ahead and give the logo up there, top right. There you go.
Yeah, we're actually having a like that goat meeting next week. Be on the lookout on the 31st.
31st.
Partying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dude, you're invited, man. Get in the goat.
I'm in. I'm coming.
Let's get you in
nice.
there.
Hell
What do
yeah.
I need to bring?
Got you.
I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Yourself, brother. Yourself.
Perfect. I'm
Yes,
there.
I love it. The
Goat
GOAT meetings
life,
are a
baby.
lot of fun, dude. Once a month, we get
Awesome.
together. And really, it's just like a way for us to connect with everybody that's in the Discord, all the GOATs, and whatever questions you might have. Cool. Ask them. We usually will come with like a few topics that, we haven't shared on the actual show. We share some behind the scene info kind of stuff, and we do a bunch of cool giveaways. It's a fun thing.
Mhm.
It's a fun
Love
time.
it.
It's a lot more relaxed, like setting than the show. And it's a good time. It's cool.
Dude, we have everyone's capping on each other, you know what I mean? Talking trash. It's just like
Yeah, we
it's
had some dude. The
hilarious.
video that we had last time. So you've been in the Discord. You know who Paul is yet? The Did It Hurt guy?
Oh,
No,
you'll find
no.
out.
Not yet. Okay, you'll
Not
start to get
yet.
the personalities. You'll start to
Okay.
get the personalities.
Okay,
There's
cool.
some we've got amazing people. Shout out to Paul from Did It Hurt. But young Stevie put together the funniest video of him. Of because he's a bus driver, and so we inducted him into like the OG GOATs. So those are the ones that have like the black tags in black name tags. Yeah. And man, it's just funny back and forth. They had a rap battle, those two, like 6 months ago, literally. Like so Paul, he actually makes music. He produces and he makes music, so he's pretty good. And Steve is really good with the computer, and I think everybody was blown away at Steve's response. Like, it was so good. But they had a little back and forth rap battle in the Discord. We're like, dude, this is great. It's just fun. There's like nonstop cool stuff. It's all about the culture, man. It's we're all paintball players, and paintball players truly are unique. I think everyone kind of shares that same sacrifice for the game that, if you don't play, people don't understand. When you tell them paintball, they think it's like some child's game. They kind of laugh at you. They don't get it. They don't get what we do.
Get on the field, buddy.
So exactly. Get on the field. Let's play. It's funny.
I spear tackle you through a bunker.
100%. It's like
load a hopper on you. Yeah.
I play a lot of basketball during the week at the local gym, just pick up games, right? And
cool.
And they most of them, since we play every day, like, you get to know each other. They know what I do. And the amount of people that say like, so you don't really have to be in shape to play paintball the way you do, right? And I'm like, come play a day of practice with me. I guarantee you can't get through a day of like our drills and practice. I guarantee it.
It's so true, man.
There's no chance.
We usually, like, when I go out with my buddies, we'll usually finish off with one-on-ones, bro. I'm dying. And I'd like to think I'm in pretty good shape.
Of course you are.
Bro, I either have heat stroke or I'm gonna pass out.
Totally.
Yeah, I got the all the windows down, man. I'm dumping Gatorade on my head.
Bro, you're in the heat. You're suffocated in neoprene with elbow pads, knee pads, pants, jerseys, goggles, so you can't even breathe that well. You're not getting enough oxygen. You're holding a weight. You've got weight on your back. You're using every muscle in your body, and it's these really fast, like, explosive movements.
You're in like a quarter squat for 75.
Totally,
it's
totally,
crazy.
dude. People are like, "What do you mean it's difficult?" I'm like, I play basketball, and this is why I run circles around you guys in here. Like, I'm not even tired. We've played 8 games in a row, and I'm like not even winded. You guys are winded. It's totally different. It's just totally different. Don't not explain.
When I was in the pits last week, and I was like just buzzing pods back and forth from the tent, and I was like, bro, I might pass out here soon, because it was hot there, man. It was like hot. It was humid, and
it was hot.
Tight quarters and.
Totally.
Not much, when you're, in between fields and in the pits, there's no breeze there. So it's like, I'm like, man, I got to get out of here.
Totally.
Good luck,
Bro,
guys.
I'm so bummed that you didn't see me, or I didn't see you, or
I know. So as soon as I saw your post, man, I was grabbing a sandwich on the way out. I was like, well, I hope I can catch him on the way out, but I had to head back to the rink. So I figured, figured we postpone it and run into each other some other time, because that's bound to happen for sure.
Oh, totally.
No, Andrew, you're right about the quarter squat. It's something crazy when you don't play paintball and you go out there and you're trying to play. You're like, my legs are gonna fall off.
It's insane, and like, especially for a big guy, man. It's like, I'm carrying some weight on that quarter squat as well. So I'm like, God damn, I need to go on to 2 knees here for like a second.
And the snap shooting, and then you got to like run and dive and get back up, and it gets tiring. But that's why it's such a great workout too. It's a mental exercise, physical exercise, and like you said earlier, the community, being able to bond with everybody. Speaking of that, you're going to have everyone knocking down your door to be on their team here pretty shortly, dude.
I hope so. Yeah, man. Yeah, send the invites, man. I got all the time in the world. But
Yeah, man.
It goes back, dude. I was playing the snake for a couple games. I was like, bro, somebody needs to get in here. I need like a 5, like 8 guy to buzz up here, man. I was like crawling. I was like, I'm just staying down here, man. I'm not getting back up.
Straight up. No,
Yeah.
I know. I'm 6'2", and you know, not quite as tall as you or big, but I've been playing the snake side for Houston Heat, you know, the last couple seasons.
Credit for that.
And yeah, I'm getting in there. I'm getting it done. But as a taller player, it's kind of interesting because we have a bigger range of motion than like a shorter player would. So you and I can kind of go from the right side to the left side or over the top and cover a lot of distance because of just, you know, the stature, which is really interesting. That's what a lot of
people have been teaching me lately is, you know, I'm able to see over bunkers. It's like, and just drop shots in there. So usually I'll play like back right or, you know, move up to a wedge and you know, it's just figuring for myself, it's figuring out all the angles and
that's right.
So I think that's the biggest thing for me, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's knowing where, you know, the lanes and that's still hard for me to figure out. But, you know, I got, you know, obviously it goes back to the, you know, the paintball community being the best one, you know, I'm like, dude, like I'm all ears. Like, don't feel, you know, don't think I'm offended when you help me out. I'm like, you can scream at me because I've, you know, hockey coaches, I've had some cycles. So
Well, we got you now, brother.
Yeah, you got us.
Scream at me.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you for life, bro.
Perfect. I appreciate that, man.
Heck yeah.
Hey, this does lead into a good Discord question.
Okay.
And we're talking about the, you know, physical aspect of the games. It's from Lettuce. He wants to know which sport, hockey or paintball, is more difficult and which is more painful. What roadblocks do you think paintball faces that prevent it from becoming as mainstream as hockey? So 2 separate questions there, but the first one we were just kind of talking about.
Yeah. So I think the second part of that question we touched on a bit, right? I think just finding, finding a platform and running with it, man. It's, you know, like there is a fan base out there. I know the extreme sport junkies, man. It's incredible. So, but going back to the first part, I mean, man, paintball, they sting, man. It doesn't feel good. I still anticipate it. I still hate anticipating it. I'm like, God damn, when am I going to get hit here? But
bro, there's nothing like getting rocked by a hockey player though. That shit.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, I you know, this tooth fell out. I got two-handed across the face with a stick. So dude, I've been, you know, in quite a few fights. I mean, if you YouTube my name, you're not getting many goals there. So I know somebody in the Discord, they posted like the link to my hockey fight page. So I'll also I'll toss a picture in there of my face after one of the fights that I'll let the fans see.
Nice.
I got 2 black eyes. I sent it to my mom. She goes, only a face a mother could love. So
hey, that's a good mama. Your mom supported you and she's amazing.
She is.
Shout out to your family one time.
Yeah. Man, two different types of pain, right? Like obviously get hit with a puck doesn't feel good, but I mean, man, I'm more drained after a day at the field than I am at the rink. So 2 different types of pain, 2 different you know, types of physical demands. So to each their own, man. I think each one carries their own weight. I mean, different types of you know, pain, I guess you could say.
For sure. Yeah, the puck and the paintball, I could see them, you know, thankfully our teeth aren't showing anymore. We used to have our teeth showing early days of paintball. So people would get smoked in the cheeks and like in the mouth too, which is pretty crazy. But man, if that's like a football player on skates coming at you, you know, there is nothing like that in our sport.
Absolutely. It's
I'm
fast.
grateful. I'm grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's how I played. I kind of played, you know, on the edge a little bit. I like pissing people off. So
hell yeah,
that's kind of why I had to, you know, add the element of fighting. You know, either, you know, whether I'm sticking up for myself, which, you know, you have to do. You have to answer the bell every now and then if you're throwing big hits like I love to do. You gotta stick up for yourself, and then, you know, skilled guys on the team, you got to stick up for them as well, and that's much appreciated. That goes a long way. You know, inside the dressing room, and
hell yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, paintballs don't feel good. Getting hit in the face with a punch doesn't feel good either. Blocking a shot doesn't feel good. They're all similar, but you know, it's for some reason it's a pain that I keep looking for. So, yeah, man.
Straight up.
If that answers the question.
It's addicting. And
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
on the NHL teams, there's like a bruiser. There's a couple bruisers on the team where their job is pretty much, you want to fuck around, you can find out.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I
mean? Yeah, I mean the
game
game is evolving. It's changed. But you know what? Fighting is still alive and well. I don't care, what anybody says. Take fighting out of the game. Do not take fighting out of the game. It moderates the game. It keeps the rats out of the game. It keeps people honest. Keeps the integrity alive, and it polices the game. So it's very important. I don't care what people say. It does in fact have a huge part in the game.
Well, it's funny you hit on that because there's some similarities in paintball going around right now where people are, there's overshooting going on and some crazy things hitting the field. And before I forget, somebody please tag my man Andrew in the Discord and post that Paul video of the bus, because you got to see that. It flashed in my mind. But there was also this thing that happened, at a tournament recently. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry if I was supposed to call that out or how to.
Hey, it's perfect. Yeah. So at Bunker Fest, it's getting kind of wild and getting kind of crazy, and people are losing their minds a little on the internet. And it's a big topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I am, in a similar place with you where for paintball, if you step in the field, the overshooting, that kind of stuff is going to get crazy. Marcello and myself have had pretty lengthy discussions, and we actually had the paintball bruiser on here who got into a standoff, and I'm not sure if you saw that one with Justin Cornell.
I did see that. Yeah. They were face to face.
Teeing off, going ham.
I'm surprised that punches weren't thrown, but I mean, that's the hockey side of me coming out.
But that's
that's what I think is maybe in paintball you should be able to just start throwing punches.
Bam.
No.
I know, of course, because if goggles fall off and you get shot in the eye, it's a problem.
It gets crazy.
But I'm saying, like, this thing, where do you draw the line? Like those videos that were posted in the Discord at Bunker Fest, that's too much.
Yeah,
that's too much, in my opinion.
And I saw the question in the Discord. Yeah, if I can touch on that quickly.
Yeah, totally,
absolutely.
I mean. And I've seen so many mixed opinions on this. In my mind, no press is bad press, right? So I think for a sport like paintball, so this is the paintball fan in me speaking right now. Now I'll touch, on the paintball community side of things, but if that's my first clip I'm seeing of the Bunker Fest clip, that's the first clip I'm seeing watching paintball. I'm like, dude, hell yeah, like. This shit's intense. Now
but you're also a hockey player.
But now on the other sides, on the other side of things,
Susan or Karen that's taking little Johnny out for his first time.
Mom, look at this clip. All right, so you turned right around on the freeway. Exactly.
We're going to soccer practice.
Yeah, we're going to play water polo.
So do the youth leagues is it only in the upper level that can fight in hockey, or are they doing it in the youth?
Upper level.
It's upper level. It starts in major junior, but now they're even, they're trying to take it out of the game, which I don't agree with. But going back, within the paintball community, I don't 100% know the context behind it. I've heard that the team was 0-4. I heard that, some guys were pissed. I heard a bunch of other things. Now, if that's the case, then, maybe we need to grow up a little, And, from the paintball community, looking, within a lot of people who have played the game for a long time, I saw that, hey, this is a terrible look for the game. And I completely understand both sides of it, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Paintball is intense, tempers flare as they do in any other sport. And, that's just my take. I mean, if I'm seeing that clip for the first time, go ahead.
Oh no, I don't think it's terrible for the game, right? I think it's stupid personally. I look at it and say, immature, kind of lame. What did you accomplish? Overshooting, I think is great. I'm a fan of overshooting. And in all sports, there's a line, and it's unfortunate that the line will always be vague. There's a line, and when it gets crossed, there needs to be a certain penalty, right? Like if one of those goggles would have flown off, because the barrel was almost in the person's face and you're shooting so much. If the goggles would have flown off or paintball comes under the mask, now we're having a totally different conversation. That's why it's lame, is because where that could go. So there has to be a line somewhere,
There's a fine
it's just
line
like in hockey. In hockey, like you're fighting, but as soon as somebody goes to the ground, fight's over, right?
Yeah, it goes back to that violent gentleman thing. There's a mutual respect, right?
Totally.
It's the same as me beating the shit out of one of my buddies, which I have. I've also had the shit kicked out of me by one of my buddies, and we go have a couple beers after the game, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, my sister's like, "What's going through your head when you're doing that?" I'm like, "Not much, to be honest with you.
Not much.
But it's just at what point does that lens maybe crack after the 100th paintball gets unloaded on your face? It's like and there's a mutual respect. And I read a couple comments. Did they shake hands after? I think they did. Did they hug it out? Yeah, but I'm glad that happened. And I know paintball's a small world, just like any other sport is. And I saw that a couple guys on each team crossed paths. They played with each other. So I mean, there's obviously positives and negatives to that situation.
For sure.
So that's kind of my take on that.
But just like you said, with the big boys, and I think that it should be similar in paintball. Like, I don't want to see these divisional teams ruining a good thing for themselves by having that kind of nature and then getting bad publicity. And then, like we said, little Timmy, little Jessica, they're not coming to the field. They don't want to be a part of anything like that. So we got to be careful with that.
Or you don't want two kids seeing that clip and thinking that's okay. I'm going to go bump to this guy and then go shoot Jessica in the back of the head 37 times. That's not okay.
That's right.
So I understand, both sides 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in the pro ranks, I say you let it fly. We actually talked to JC, we talked to the Bruiser, Boyum, and we had come up with a pretty good idea of like keeping distance, and then at a certain point, like you said, after the 50th, 75th shot or whatever, we got to draw a line somewhere there. It's like, or we're going to run
out of the air over here.
So as long as, because what we don't want is to get too close and then have a barrel contact each other. And then you're having goggles lift up, crazy stuff happen. So we've got to definitely have some parameters there.
That might be the solution, right? Yeah. You can't get close enough to like shove the barrel up underneath, which in that clip, it looked like they were getting close enough to where like, one more step and that could have been.
Like let's have that mutual respect, like you said, Marcel, if I buckle my buddy with a punch, boom, we're done. That's the end of the fight. I'm not throwing five.
I'm not going to be on top of him, giving him a concussion.
Throwing bombs at his forehead. Yeah. So, hey, if we're 10 feet apart, that's great, man.
Right. I like that.
We get the point.
Yeah. And we just got to be mindful of it because we got to make sure, we got to keep the culture strong and keep it moving in the right direction.
Yeah, Speaking of these, another Discord question from Meme Machine Matt. By the way, Mr. Meme Machine Matt, where are the memes? We're waiting for the memes. Hey, Andrew, I know nothing about hockey, so forgive me, but have you ever been in a hockey fight? And if so, did you win?
Yeah, I saw that one, and somebody actually replied to it with the link to my it's called hockeyfights.com, my link, and it's just like 30 hockey fights. So if you're in the Discord, go take a look at that. I've won a couple, and I've also had this shit kicked out of me. So when we get off here, I'll post a picture of my face after one of those losses. So that'll give PTG Nation a pretty good picture.
Go. I love it.
Yeah, and for everybody that doesn't know, like I said, the Discord is open. It's free trials for everyone. Hop in there and check it out. We have a whole thread for guest questions where you can drop questions for our guests to be answered live on the show, which is really cool. And we actually have my man Destroy, Roy Richards, ex-pro baller, and still playing some 10-man. He said, who is your favorite Anaheim Ducks player that you were around, played with, and do you consider yourself a violent gentleman?
Yeah, so Violent Gentleman. I'm a big fan of their clothing company. I think their factory's in Huntington Beach, so they're right close to us. I took a couple visits out there and picked up some gear. So Violent Gentleman. I mean, Marcel, goes back to it's the huge culture, which is hockey, and Violent Gentleman is the perfect way to describe it. Beating the shit out of a buddy and then go and have a couple beers after. So I do consider myself a violent gentleman. My favorite Anaheim Duck player, Sheldon Surrey. I don't know if you guys know the name. Big, mean man, Canadian guy. He's my favorite all-time player. He's a big defenseman. So I actually had the opportunity. My first year there, I broke my hand in a fight. He actually had the exact same broken bone in his hand. So we were rehabbing together, and that was my first NHL experience. being up there. So, dude, like that was the coolest thing for me is, was being able to, hang around him and rehab together and do some therapy and just listen to all the stories and all that stuff that came with that.
How long was he pro prior to like when you joined forces?
Ooh, 10, 15 years maybe.
Oh,
he had a great career. He played on a bunch of different teams. So, I was watching him since I was about 10 years old, I want to say. So
no shit. So you got on the team and you're like, teammate.
There were like my first year in Anaheim when I was hurt. I was up in Anaheim for a couple months just rehabbing and getting my hand better. And I had a spot in the dressing room, I had a stall in there, and it was like, dude, I'm next to these guys like I grew up, watching on TV. So that was the coolest experience for me for sure.
Dude, bravo, Andrew. What a story, man.
Yeah,
it's tremendous.
Awesome.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we have Dynasty Shadow. He says, I loved Eddie Bellflower and Mike Medano. And Darian Hatcher.
Eddie Belfour, Mike Medano, Darian Hatcher. So he must be a Dallas Stars fan.
Ooh, they're down 0-2 right now.
Yeah, they are.
Boy. For you, who are your top 3 hockey idols?
So 1, I got Sheldon Surrey, like I just mentioned. 2, I got a Russian, Alex Kovalev. And 3, a Finnish guy, Saku Koivu. So they actually
Wayne Gretzky, like the OG.
No, Wayne Gretzky is just the OG. So that's such a cliche. That's a cliche. I'll go Gretzky too. Gretzky's that's a given, man. If you're a Canadian hockey player, it's a given.
Yeah.
Those
but you don't like not say Jordan, Yeah,
exactly.
You don't not say MJ.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go top 4. We'll throw Gretzky in there. But all those guys actually played for my favorite team growing up, which is the Montreal Canadiens. So
sweet,
nice. Yeah. So that's got to be my top 3 for sure.
Dude,
nice.
That's an epic battle right there. All right, we got Kaylin from Inspired Paintball with a pretty interesting idea of have you ever played paintball on the ice with skates? If not, why? If yes, tell us more.
No, I don't think anybody has done that. I mean, I would love to try. I think it'd be pretty wild.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Severely dangerous at the same time.
Sounds really dangerous.
Paintball guns and skate blades.
Oh no!
Don't sound like maybe full contact paintball, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be wild. But disaster. No, I haven't. And no, because I don't think anybody would be willing to give that a try.
Yeah. It's a fiasco.
Yeah.
The Fizz. What's your favorite aspect of hockey and paintball?
Favorite aspect, man. I just think for paintball, like I mentioned, I think it's just the intensity, the controlled chaos, like I said earlier. Every situation's unique. The physical aspect, the physical grind, just all that can happen in such a short amount of time, makes it so exciting, and that's why I love playing. Hockey, obviously growing up playing my entire life, same type of thing. It's the aggressive nature in the sport. It's the physical, the physical aspect, a lot of very similar things, I guess you could say. Sure. The intensity, and I think the intensity that, that comes with both sports. So probably that.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
They're both really aggressive, extreme sports. It's like you got to send it. You got to put it all out on the line there. Absolutely. And you got to be ready for some pain too.
Yeah, you do. For sure.
Yeah. All right. We got, this is really interesting. I'm curious about this question because I did a little research and I was like, what is going on with these books?
Lurtz Paintball. Yeah. I'm curious about that one too.
Andrew, hockey has recently exploded in popularity within the female audience due to a certain genre of books, including hockey players as the main characters. Have you seen a uptick in your own fan base due to this? Have you ever been approached to be involved in any of these storylines? What is he talking about?
That's a great question. I don't know. I looked it up myself. I'm like, damn, man.
So the only thing I saw was like there's these like hockey novels or whatever. But I was like, I have no clue.
I wasn't able to. I might have to ask my wife. There might be some like some rom-com books or something with the main character as a hockey player. I'm not sure. I I haven't actually heard of that. When I saw that question, I was like, damn, like I need to look this up. Is this true? No, that's news to me though. So I wish I had an answer for you. No, my fan base has not grown. But no, interesting question. I'm gonna have to look into that a little more.
There's got to be some like hockey romance novels that are floating around or something. That's all I can.
Why do they do romance novels? Because there's females?
Well, no, I
looked badass bruisers, brother.
No, I looked it up. There are. If you look up,
that's exactly what I looked up, and that's the first thing that popped up. So
yeah,
that is so interesting.
Dig a little deeper and
David
check it out.
Latima.
Yeah, it sounds like your next adventure is a hockey romance novel, possibly.
Yeah,
main character in a romance book.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Brother, my last question from the Discord is from Cyrus. He wants to know, with how gritty you have to be to play hockey, what do you think it is that makes hockey players grittier than most other athletes?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've listened to a ton of different podcasts, NFL players, NBA players. I mean, you got a guy my size, if not bigger, on a blade that's half an inch thick, a steel blade, and you're going, as fast as, anyone, full contact, you can fight, you can hit, shooting a frozen rubber puck around on ice with concrete hard boards.
Straight up. Wow. You just expressed that perfectly.
It takes a lot. It takes a different breed of human to want to play that game. But I don't know. I've been playing my entire life. I've kind of just embraced it, and that's all I've ever known. Right. So, whether I'm getting punched in the face or blocking a shot or getting slashed in the back of the leg or, getting a tooth knocked out, it comes with the territory. It's something, like I just said, I've always been used to. So, yeah, man. I mean, simple as that. I think every sport.
That was a great answer, dude.
Physical in its own right. But dude, you get a football sized player on skates, and that's essentially what it is. And they're taking runs at you, trying to take your head off. So,
dude, it's gnarly. Holy shit. It's crazy. We got Jay Tuck. And this is my last question as well. He's wondering, hey, Andrew, what are some of the most memorable moments of your hockey career thus far? Also, who would you most and least like to see win the cup of the remaining 4 teams? Go Knights, go.
He's going to Vegas. We already talked about this.
Yeah. So go with Vegas. I want to see that city pop off.
Shout out to Vegas.
Least likely. Who do you not want to? I guess you got buddies on all of them, so it's a win.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas or Carolina. I'd love to see Florida win it. I think Florida would be cool.
There we go.
What was the first question? I blocked out there.
Your most memorable moments
that's right.
in your career thus far.
I mean, I probably going to have to say getting drafted by Anaheim.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's every child's dreams to get drafted in the NHL. And, I was lucky enough for that to happen. But, dude, I think, just my entire career, my 10-year career, if it's over, it is what it is. I have so many things to look forward to. If not, I'll keep grinding. But, dude, the experiences, the stories, the places I've been able to visit, the countries, the people, I'll forever be grateful for that. So I think just my career as a whole is something, I hold near and dear to my heart. So, probably that, man.
Yeah, man. And you've had quite the story of a career, dude. And there's absolutely no shame in you teaching the future and going that path and still being a part of the culture of the sport, or continuing, just depending on how this all pans out, and still just crushing people out there moving forward. It's all still on the table, and we're just stoked to be able to have you here and have these stories. I know that everybody tuning in is super juiced to have been able to hear the inside scoop from the pro hockey player that has been playing paintball and running people over out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll be at the field. I usually play Saturday, Sunday. So I got, that's consuming, most of my life right now. So hopefully I can, run into a bunch of listeners and share some more stories. Cause I do love the paintball community, man. I love talking. I love, sharing everything with those guys.
Well, let us
June
know
3rd and
if you
4th.
need anything too.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that. Absolutely,
100%.
man. Be an absolute pleasure.
I'll get in touch with you after the show and we'll make sure that happens.
Sounds good.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, he'll read the message. You just got to send it a couple times.
I was like, damn, did he see this shit? Is he icing me? I'm like,
dude, I still can't even see. Like, I'm over here looking through. I'm like, I don't see it. You said your name's not in your thing. Like, what am I?
No, right? It's just like a little private one.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I hope these guys don't think I'm like not real.
Like, for some reason, I thought that I followed you.
Yeah, you do. You do. It might, I
do,
don't know where
right?
it went.
And then
you do.
What the hell? And I can't find your. Because the latest. Oh, are you 9 Tube? That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. Okay.
Tube.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Like,
I got
what
you.
the hell is that name?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that explains everything. You're like, who is this spammer?
Man, okay. I'm just seeing this message for the first time. I apologize. But
hey,
cool. I've got you.
Awesome.
I've got you. And 100%, dude, next weekend, have you out at ASG and it'll be a good time.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll take you up on that.
And like we said, if you need anything at all, you tap in with us, message us. You have any questions about the game, or, you know, there's so many nuances to paintball. Yeah. And we would, like, if we were going into the hockey and trying to, you know, I don't think I'm big enough. I just get obliterated out there. Yeah. But playing hockey is the same thing. You know, you got to have a great mentor. And if you need mentors, you got them from us. And also the entire PTG world is one of the greatest communities you could be a part of. The chat.
I really do appreciate that, man.
Dude.
I'm learning every day. So I'll continue to play and, you know, help grow the game with the boys. So
that's it, dog.
Yeah, I really do appreciate you guys.
Oh man, we appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing these crazy stories, man. It sounds like you've had one of the best times of your whole life, and we're stoked to watch you mature into the next chapters of your life with hockey and paintball.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much, guys. You guys are incredible for the game, and I'll continue to watch and listen and share all these podcasts.
Let's go, baby.
You're the man, dude.
Dude, you got to start a YouTube. You got to start a YouTube channel for paintball or something.
A vlog. I know, dude. I love watching vlogs. So, that might be in my distant future here, or near future, you could say.
Heck yeah. Let's get it going.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah,
have a good night.
Care. Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed the show, please head over to ptgpaintball.com. Click the Patreon link at the top left corner and become a supporter. If you do, you will get access to the Discord. The Discord is where all the action is happening. If you ever wonder how all these individuals are able to ask questions to our guest, it's because they're in the Discord. You don't want to miss out. Again, fantastic way to support the show, and we definitely appreciate it. If you need a website done, Rusty Glaze is your guy. Rusty Glaze at Constant Pursuit. He did the PTG website, and as you can see, everything is so streamlined, very easy to use. And if you're trying to get a business off the ground, you definitely need your own personal website. So, as always, we will see you very soon.